Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new painting tutorial, and this time I'm going to explain how I paint the Sisters of Silence. So this is one of the most bought options. You can see I have the Sisters of Silence in sub-assemblies. I just put them together with glue tack to be able to prime them. But now I will remove the glue tack and start doing the paint job. So here we have, what I have is the main body with the legs. I don't glue the cape because I want to be able to reach this part of the cape that is behind the legs, and it's going to be a pain to do it. This is the same reason why I don't glue the head. So let's first remove all the glue tack from here. Okay, all this. So be careful to eliminate well all the glue tack before painting, because if not, the glue tack will act as a masking. So glue tack can be used as a masking as well sometimes. So this is why you want to eliminate all the glue tack from all the joints. Okay. Okay, so I put back on the base. You can see it's not glued to the base neither, and it's because in case I need to add access to the bottom. So I try to be careful not to cover as well the feet. And what we are going to start is we are going to start with the gold part, or the remember that we are going to go for this type of color. Okay, so I'm going to apply Gehenna's gold on all the armor plates. So this is including the arms and all the different parts. So we can use, I will not use my best brush for that. Okay. So we apply a thin layer of Gehenna's gold. This a little bit reddish as well, or orangey golden. So it's not, it's more orange than, it's a layer color. So this is only working if you work on white prime. So to do this you need to be on white primer. If you are not on white primer, this is going to be more difficult. So you will need to apply first a layer of some brown or ochre as a base for the Gehenna's gold, because Gehenna's gold is not working very well on top of black primer directly. If not, you will need to do really multiple layers. So if you're working on top of black primer, first apply a light brown, and on top of the light brown apply Gehenna's gold. So if not, I recommend, if you want to go for this color as the main color, apply this on white primer. Okay, so I'm going to apply now Gehenna's gold on all the armor, and I will be back once this is done. So once I have applied, as you can see, the gold on all the different parts, including the head and here on that, I'm going to apply a Screamer Pink. That is the color I'm using for the different clothes, capes and so on. So we are going to apply as well a thin layer, and here I want to go with more carefully, because I don't want to, by mistake, go into the gold that we have already painted. Okay, so this part, I want to go a little bit careful. Okay. This. I will avoid to go into these ropes. Okay, if it's possible. Try to keep these ornaments clean. Because at the end it's helping the paint job. You want to keep them clean, but don't leave gaps. Okay. Okay, so I will do that, the back as well, and we are going to paint as well this part here. Okay, so I do the two capes, the cape and the tabard, and I come back once this is done. So once we have applied this pinkish color, I'm going to start doing the washes on the armor. So we are going to apply first Reglan Flake Shade on the whole armor. We are going to do this in all the different armor plates and parts. So let me put this here. We are going to take a bigger brush for that. I'll just take this one. So we are going to wash all the different armor. So we are going to wash all the armor plates, all the armor parts with regular flake shade, and I will be back once this happens. Okay, next step, I'm going to apply Carol's Book Crimson on the armor, and this will give the reddish tonality that we have on the armor. So again, we are going to use. We have to be careful not to go too much red. We don't want to have bloody looking, but we want to give this reddish tint on the armor. So I'm going to apply that. Once it's dry, it's going to be more brown and less vibrant red, okay? But it will give this nice tone. I really like how it looks like. So I will apply this on all the different parts, and I come back once it's done. So this is how the armor is looking like now, okay? And the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to paint with Fleet One Flash, okay, this type of ropes and the attachments that we have on the miniature. Okay, so here we want to go carefully. Okay. That. Here we have a little bit of gold. I'm going to paint the parchment. Okay, so I will do it later on. But the other thing I want to share is I'm going to paint these things here. And not the eagle will go with gold. But I want to paint this decoration. Okay. Don't worry if you go a little bit too thick. We are going to clean up this later on. Okay. I think we have any. So we are going to clean up this later. So I will do this as well. This is not any mystery. I will do all the other parts and I come back once it's done. So I have applied, now you see here, flag fringe on the parchment. I also did the one here Okay, and I'm going now to first to clean up what I did here. I go back to Screaming Pink, okay, and I will very carefully clean up a little bit. Okay, we want to make these lines thinner. It's almost like doing freehand that thing. But with the help of this code. Here I okay. 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 So next I'm going to paint the fur. Okay, and we are going to do as well the fur on the shoulder pad, and I'm going to use Gother Brown. It's called, not this one, sorry. This one. We are going to use Gother Brown. Okay. On the fur, I have used the same, for example, on the fur of this lady. Okay. So I'm using the Gother Brown on all fur parts, and I'm realizing here there is not fur. Maybe it will be covered by. I will paint brown, and then if it's not covered by the armor later on, I will do the appropriate color. Yes, there is not skull, and I guess it's because it's covered by the shoulder pad later on. Okay. So we apply this color. As you can see, I'm doing all this without assembling the front and back. It's because I want also to do the highlights easier on the. This is optional, you can do the inside and then do the highlights. I just wanted to apply now, it's not that difficult to apply the base colors on these parts before assembling. Okay, as you can see, I apply here. Gother Brown. Okay, and I'm going to do the shoulder pad, and I'm back once it's done. So next, I'm going to use from a scale 75 Arabic Shadow. Okay, that is the color I'm using for the skin tone of these sisters. This is giving quite a peculiar color. I just wanted to experiment something different. And I think it's quite nice. So we are going to apply this, and the only exposed flesh we have from these ladies is the head. So I'm going to paint the head with Arabic Shadow, as you see here, Okay, and I come back once it is applied again, thin layer, and make it as even as possible. Okay, this how looks like the skin now. Next, I'm going to use racquer flesh to do the hair of these ladies. Here we have. I'm doing them with this type of pale hair. So we are going to apply racquer flesh. And as you can see, I keep the head separate in that case. It's not a big deal, paint it. The problem because it's only half and I don't have the socket for the head. I prefer to paint it separated anyway, and in that way I have more accessibility and it's easier to paint in a way. We have better grip. Okay. So I do the hair here. Here we are. And now I'm going to apply a Retributor armor. I have parts of that I want to go for the lighter gold. I will take a smaller brush for this thinner brush. So we are going to use this on this type of jewelry that we have here. Okay, or gems or decorations. Okay. And I'm doing that because I want to do the wash on the cloth, but I really first want to have the gold in place. Okay, the gems will go inside in a different color, but I just wanted that we can put as a distinguish. But this gold is much yellow now. Okay, here we have like a decoration, like a ring, and then we have the bottom gem, so I will do the same. We'll do this later. The other one I want to show you that I will need to paint gold is the aquila on the back, on the cape. Okay. Well, again, this will happen maybe what happened before with the I want to be sure that I cover all the parts that have the aquila. Can you see? Now it's much more visible what the aquila was. The gold sometimes with the reflections is helping to show better the part. Okay, I'm going to do the wash. What we really. Okay. Here we have. This part I wanted to keep it. I will not give the reddish tone on this gold, and we are going to do those well the hold of the sword. And I will do this. We are going to do the gem. Maybe we can skip. I primed the sword with. It was not attached to the middle when I primed, so I primed now with brush, with standard brush, with white, and now we are going to apply. So I will apply Balthasar gold as well on the hold of the sword. I will do it, I will finalize the decorations and I come back once this is okay. Now we have most of the base colors applied, and we are going to start applying some washes on the miniature. So we'll start applying Agax Airshade. So we already applied a couple of washes, and now we are going to apply Agax Airshade almost on all the rest of the parts. Okay. We are going to avoid the light gold, but I want to apply it now on the part we have gone in purple. Okay, and also these ropes. Okay, here if you go a little bit on the gold, it's not the end of the wall, so it will help also to have some shading on the gold. It's a small part, and you can go quite stark with the shading. Okay, will help also to know where to put the gem later on. We are going to apply it here. I don't do the parchment. Here we ensure that we don't pull too much. Okay. And I will do the purity seal here, not the parchment of the purity seal. Apply again here. I want to make this rope larger. We are going to do the same on both sides of that, but here we need to do it in 2 steps. First I do this part, and later on I will do the outside part, but we can do the outside once it's assembled. Okay, so we are going to do this part here. We leave the other part to do it once this is assembled. Okay, because we'll leave. So we want to. Most of this is not going to be visible, so this is why I'm doing that, but I don't want to spend a huge amount of time. This is important. We are going to do the head, and the hair. The head and the hair. So I'm doing here now first the head, the skin. This will give a very nice shade on the skin and will give this fine tonality that I really like, or looks like. And now I'm going to apply it on the hair. Okay, and the hair will help. We need to do some highlight and make it whiter, but this is helping to see all this coat. Okay. And the other part I want to do is I will do this part here of the sword, and as you can see I'm not touching the gold yet. I will do it later, but first I want to do a patch of Seraphim Sepia. So now we wait that this dries, or we can do one thing. We can do now the Seraphim Sepia straightforward on the parchments and on the gold, except the gold we have there for the gems. So we are going to do Seraphim Sepia. We are going to apply Seraphim Sepia here on this parchment. Okay. And we are going to do the Seraphim Sepia. This will give, we go more for the gold of the armor is reddish, and this will go more on the brown side. Okay. It's also a warm color, and we are going to break this with the blade. And some gems we are going to put. And I will do also this thing that is a purity seal on the arm. Okay, and now we wait that all this dries before doing the next step. So the Seraphim Sepia has dried here on these gold parts. So now I'm going to apply a little bit of Aquax Earthshade to make it darker. This will make also to look older. Okay. I like more to go for more like ancient looking, right? This is like these ladies are carrying on swords that are almost Arbor Lake for the Imperium. So I bring just a little bit of that. I will put it here as well on the bottom part of the sword. We wait that this dries, and here I'm still waiting that the wash completely dries, but we can work on this back part, so we can start working on highlighting the pink part. So to do the pink part, I'm going to go back to use Screaming in Pink, and we are going to use Emperor's Children. Okay, so we have to be careful. Emperor's Children will be super bright compared to the Screamer Pink, but we will need to mix it a little bit. We are going to use a little bit the technique of the wet blending to give to soften the transitions. So for example, let's do this fold here. First I come with I come with the Screamer Pink. Okay. I'm going to apply that one here. That is that. Let me put the color there. And we want to paint especially these parts that are going to be hidden ones. So it's not going to be not hidden. It's going to be visible, but not easily reachable. Okay, and this is why I want to paint them before assembly. And this is why I want to paint as well the back of the cape. Okay. So now we are going to take fulgurant pink, very thin. We are going to apply here. Okay, and if you take it thin, we make it. We play that is the paint is going to be a little bit transparent. To help on the transition. Okay, and then what we can do, we will take a little bit of Screamer Pink with this mixture. We are going to apply next to it. Okay, here as well. Okay, now we take just the pink. We go with the pink. The case go from the bottom up. Okay. Well, here we add a little bit more of pink. Fulgurant pink. Okay. So this is enough. So let's do a little bit the cape as well on camera. And you can imagine that when I have to do the full cape, it's going to be more or less the same technique. So when the folds are flatter, these ones, okay, and this part maybe you don't need to highlight too much because most of this part, as I said, is going to be hidden at the back of the armor. So I will not do here. You see this goes at goes at the back of the armor. So it means that this part is not going to be visible. Mainly the bottom part of the cape is going to be visible. So is what you want to apply more effort. Okay, so we go there. And we paint up. See, just okay, we are going to do as well this one here. Okay, this one will follow more or less the same shape as the previous one. We want to go a little bit wider with this pink. And we just is so evident. Okay, so we can take Screamer pink and mix it. Okay, that's the way we do this. We are going to do as well this part here. I'm going to apply first. I will clean up this as well. Here we see that the colors have been mixed. And now with pink, while the purple is still fresh, we try to again, I go next to it. We can darken, but we can leave the edge bright. Okay, let a little bit of pink here. This was a mistake now, but I just want to do this. Doesn't matter if you do a small mistake like this one, you go next to it. You can even mix a little bit. Okay, here when you have very soft falls, the trick is softening. This soft sensation sticky. When you have more edge like this one, you can go harder. Okay, so now at this stage I will assemble some parts. So I will assemble the back and the front, and I will come back by stone. So I have assembled here the front and the back of the Mini, and now we can work in the meantime on the face. This is one of the advantages as well of not having everything together, so you can work on other parts. So first I'm going to apply black on the eyes. Okay, let me put it here. So we're going to put black like that. We're going to do the other side. Okay. Now we need to wait that this dries a bit because it's too fresh. So while this is drying, I'm going to use now Racker Flash, and I will start highlighting the hair. Okay. So we're going to go with Racker Flash. Highlighting different parts of the hair, okay, as you can see here. So I will do this with Racker Flash on all the different hair parts. Okay, you have to be quite careful. You need a little bit of passion, but I like it more than doing just dry brush. I think it's much cleaner. So the option is to dry brush, but to be fair, it's not as clean as just trying to go hair by hair. Okay. So I will do that, and I back when I have finished. Okay, next I'm going to do the white on the eyes and finalize the eyes, and I think I will finalize here the part 1 of the tutorial. I have done quite a long videos right now, and it's better for me also for editing and so on. So we are going to apply white here. Okay, white on the other side. Okay. Need to change to different brush now. And we are going to put black. So we are going to put black like that. We are going to clean up. Here I need to put a little bit of white now. Then we clean up with here. Okay, and now the thing we are going to do is we are going to highlight the skin to finalize this part, and yeah, and this. So I'm going to use again the Arabic what's called Arabic shadow from Scale 75 and Tayar San from Games Workshop from Citadel. So first with Arabic shadow, I'm going to come next to the eye. And ensure that we clean up around the eye, and then with the young flesh we are going to do a little bit of highlight. Okay, we go with the young flesh here. It's going to be much lighter when it's wet. Once it's dry it will look darker, but we can use as well some Arabic shadow to help on the transition. Okay. I think I will finalize here the first part in the painting tutorial of the Sister of Silence. Okay, and we'll go for the second part where we're going to do the hair, and we're going to do some the sword, and the last details like the gems and so on, and the highlights on the armor. So here we have and this is a way to give really a different touch with the skin. So we have the skin. I will do the hair before assembling. I just want to share with you I have assembled the other parts. Here we have. So this is how it's looking like right now, and I will finalize here the part 1 on the painting tutorial of the Sister of Silence. It's going to be 2 parts. The next part I will finalize completely the work. So I hope what you see here so far is liking you. Please give a like if you have liked this tutorial. Leave a comment and let me know what you think.